Chloe is mesmerized by the camera, but for today's video, this is so cute. We are going to be doing a service dog Q&A, and she is completely mesmerized by the camera, and I'm dying of her cuteness. And you can barely see me, but that's okay. She's the real star here. Chloe, you're such a star. You can't like me though, mommy has makeup on. Hello guys, and welcome back to another video. I have a special guest here on my channel. For those of you that don't know, I have a service dog, and her name is Chloe, and I figured I would do a service dog Q&A. I've had her for quite a while, over 2 years now, and educating people about service dogs is something that I'm super passionate about, and I want more people to know about, and kind of our story of how we got together, I guess you could say. I asked you guys on Instagram to ask a bunch of questions. You guys came up with some amazing ones that I didn't even think to address, just because I just didn't think of them. So for the basics, she is a Golden Retriever Labrador mix, and her name is Chloe, and she was trained by Paradise Dog Training in Fenton, Michigan. Those are kind of the basics, and I guess we'll go right to Instagram. I normally do Q&As on Twitter, but I don't have that many followers on Twitter. And Chloe's still right here. I don't expect her to sit up for the whole video because it's going to be kind of long, but she's pretty mesmerized by the camera. She keeps looking up at it. So I went on Instagram to ask you guys because I have way more followers on there, and I wanted a ton to be asked, and you guys asked a ton. So here we go. The first question is, what is your favorite thing about having Chloe? I think my favorite thing about having Chloe is, oh my, there's so many. I'm going to name a couple. I think that my top is just, sorry for the mess shelf by the way. I think my top is just the independence that she gives me. People don't often think about being able to bend down and pick up a pencil or grab their phone or open the washer and dryer or get something out of the refrigerator or open an automatic door button. People don't think about them, and it's just natural to them, where to me it's a really big deal to have to do those things. So honestly, just the independence is wonderful, and it's such a blessing. And definitely the other favorite part is just having her friendship and companionship. We're so close, and she's honestly my best friend, and I love spending time with her. I think the world would be a better place if people were like her. She's so loving. She doesn't care what you look like. She doesn't care how much money you have. She doesn't care about any of that stuff. And she just wants love and food, of course. So just the independence and companionship would definitely be the best thing about having her, and the reason that I got her. The next question is, what's the greatest trick that she can do? So for service dogs, or as now called assistance dogs, they're not really called tricks, they're called tasks. I would say the greatest thing, like, I don't know, like, if you mean like the greatest, what I use the most, or like what I think is the most amazing. What I mean by amazing is like one that I didn't realize that they could train dogs to do. And I would have to say for that one is, she can help me get laundry out of our washer and dryer, because we have a front loader, so she can help me get them in and out of the washer and dryer. And honestly, I never dreamed of a dog that could help me do that before, and when we had talked to the trainers, that was not even thought of, and they said, hey, like, we could train her to do this too. And I was like, heck yes. As far as like the greatest thing, like most helpful, is definitely picking something up off the floor. I use that one every day. I keep her super busy, constantly dropping things. And it's nice because I want to ask my parents all the time now and bug them every 5 seconds. When did you get Chloe? How old were you? P.S. I love you so much. Oh, thank you so much. I love you too. I got Chloe, I believe, when it was my junior year in high school, and I just turned, I turned 17 my senior year. I was 16 when I got her, I believe, and was I 16? It does not seem like that long ago. Yeah, no. I don't know. I was a junior in high school Oh my gosh, I think it was 16. Time flies. So I got her in 2014, 15? Yeah, 2000, no, 2000, I don't know. What's your favorite thing about Chloe? I kind of mentioned this earlier, like as far as how loving she is, and honestly, that's my answer. She's just so loving and so gentle, and she's so smart. A couple questions on, is there anything that she can do that she does that the trainers didn't train her, or that I didn't teach her, or not, I didn't teach her any of this stuff. The trainers trained me on the commands to give her, which I'll kind of get to after. So I think that just amazes me about her, and let's see, I kind of go back to the question. Yeah, so what's my favorite thing? Just like how smart she is and loving. She's so gentle. If you guys don't know, I've addressed this 80 times, but I have a connective tissue disorder. It's called osteogenesis imperfecta, and I have type 3, and my bones break really easily. And so in order, when we got matched, I guess you could say, the trainers had to find a dog that was incredibly gentle, and she definitely fits the bill. I'm having surgery coming up, and you might be watching this when I already have had it, because I'm pre-filming, but I'm having it March 15th. But like whenever I'm in pain, like she gets really sad. Whenever I have surgery, like she's right here by my bed all the time, and she's just so loving, and I don't even know if that answered your question. If you could say one thing to her that she would understand, what would it be? This is a super interesting question. I think she understands a lot of what I say, honestly. Like, it's really scary how smart she is. You know, dogs speak in their own language. You can tell by their eyes, their facial expressions, and in Chloe's case, she has a ton of facial expressions. Their eyes and their tail even, and just how they act. So they do speak in their own language, and I think she does understand things that I tell her. Human conversation-wise, how much of a blessing she is, and what she has done in my life is just impeccable. Do you guys have trouble feeding and walking her? Does someone ever need to help out? So I find this a very interesting question, and one that I didn't think of, but I am fully capable of taking care of her 100%. My parents do help out when, in this case, I'm having surgery. It's kind of a major-ish surgery. I've kind of covered it on my vlog channel, so if you're interested in that, you can check that out. But when I'm unable to even function for myself when I have surgery, my parents do help out, but on a daily basis, I'm fully able to care for her. Does anyone ever pet her with her vest on the streets, for example, strangers? So yes, every single time I go out in public with her. If you guys are totally unfamiliar with assistance dogs, when an assistance dog has their vest on, you are not allowed to pet the dog. If you do pet the dog, it distracts them from being with the owner. If the owner needs something and someone is over there loving and petting on them, they're obviously going to pay attention to whoever is petting them. That's just natural. A dog is a dog is a dog. That is why it is not good to pet a dog when they have their vest on. So I get it constantly. I am incredibly kind about it, as you could imagine, but some people are really ignorant about it. Some people are really kind about it and feel really bad and say like, oh, I'm sorry. And some people don't listen at all. They keep on petting her, even when I ask them not to. I meet all kinds, definitely, with her, but it happens constantly. And some people say like, oh, I just can't help it. Oh, she's cute and all, but you know, let's respect my request, and that doesn't mean that just because, you know, she's cute, it doesn't mean that you can pet her, you know what I mean? I don't know, but it happens constantly, and it's really, really frustrating because I feel like service dogs are a lot more common now, and they're more like, they're legally accepted because of the ADA, like socially accepted. And what I mean by that is it's more common now and a lot more people understand it, but there are just some people that just don't get it. And they might get it and they just don't listen, but it is really frustrating because some people are just really ignorant about it. But others, most of the time, are really kind about it and respect that, but I think what bugs me the most is when they say they know they're not supposed to pet, but they do anyways. That is what really gets me. So yeah, it happens constantly, every single time. My parents aren't even allowed to pet her when her vest is on. How does she act around other animals? In your opinion, what is the most amazing thing she can do? So I think that was the question that I was getting to about one of the most amazing things. She acts really good around other animals. I mean, she does her own thing. She's unaffected. So yeah, the most amazing thing I guess really have to be the laundry. I never thought that she could get laundry in and out of the washer and dryer. That was not even thought of when I first wanted to get a service dog. So that is awesome. Who picked the name Chloe? I actually chose the name Chloe. Chloe was actually originally trained by leader dogs. She started out as the leader dogs, and if you're not familiar with leader dogs, for people who are blind, leader dogs only feeds their dog one type of food, and no matter how good they are at the task, they kick them out of the program if they're allergic to the kind of food they eat. And in Chloe's case, she was one of their top-notch performers, but she was allergic to the kind of dog food she eats because she's allergic to wheat. Wheat in general is just not that great for dogs, but she particularly is allergic to it and gets really itchy, so they kicked her out of the program, and Paradise Dog Training, I guess, gets the leader dog rejects because of food allergy, and that's how they got her and found out about her. So leader dog's loss is definitely my gain. Her original name, I guess I didn't even answer, was Lemon. That's what the people at Leader Dog called her, but I hated that name. I could not even imagine calling her Lemon. That just sounds horrible. I chose Chloe, and I've always wanted a dog named Chloe, and so that's what I named her. And it wasn't like, yeah, her name was Lemon at the time, but she was like a year old when she went to Paradise Dog Training, so it wasn't like she had known that name for like 10 years or something. So it was really easy to change the name. So I hated the name Lemon. Absolutely hated it. What does Chloe mean to you? Chloe means absolutely the world to me. She is such a blessing in my life, and I barely remember life without her. At the same time, it feels like I've had her forever, but also at the same time, it feels like just yesterday she came into our home for the first time. How does the training process for a service dog work? Do people try to pet her while working? Can she clearly tell when it's serious time versus playtime? If that makes sense. It totally makes sense. So for your first question on how the training works, every company or organization is different, but in Chloe's case, she was trained by a foster family, and I actually still keep in touch with her foster family, or foster mom. I actually still keep in touch, so she sees pictures of her every single day. I actually have the privilege of knowing who her foster mom is, because the company that I went through is smaller. I was able to know who her foster mom is and get in contact with her and just thank her a million times for everything that she's done for me. And it's so selfless what those foster families have to go through. I can't imagine raising Chloe and having to give her away, essentially. Well, I know it's incredibly rewarding that she knows what she's doing is important. I just still couldn't even imagine doing that. So she went to her for a year and then was at Paradise for about a year. The foster family trains them the basics like potty training, sit, stay, lay down, all that stuff. And so then the company or organization that trains the dog the actual tasks, like opening the door, picking something off the floor, going to get help, get the phone, all that stuff. I also have a video of a day in the life of a service dog at home video, so I will link that down below as well. Can she clearly tell when it's serious time versus playtime, if that makes sense? She clearly knows when she's working, and she is pretty much on duty all the time, but like what I mean by on duty all the time is just because she doesn't have a vest on at home, it doesn't mean she doesn't do things for me at home. Well, her vest is telling her that, okay, she wears her vest only when we go out. I'm not like outside to play, but like out in public. What her vest tells her is, okay, with going out in public, it's time to be, like, I'm in working mode. I have no idea how they do that part of it, but when service is off, she acts totally different, like a normal dog. So, yes, she clearly knows that. What are Chloe's favorite toys? Has she ever done something untrained that surprised you? What was it? So, I actually forgot to bring in some of her favorite toys, so I will try and insert some pictures. So I forgot to bring them in, but I will go ahead and insert some pictures. She has done a few things that are untrained. The one is she brings the newspaper in for us every morning. Well, we only get it 4 times a week. But she brings it in for us every single morning when we get the paper. And it amazes us because the trainers didn't train her to do that. We didn't train her to go get it. She just did. And I think it's part of the golden retriever in her because, of course, a retriever, but still in all, every morning without fail, she brings it, and it's amazing. We never thought. And the other thing that she does that I've noticed is, well, not that I've noticed, that she's done for a while now, is at night when it's time for bed, if I tell her time for bed, like one night I just said, "Wait, time for bed," and she's sitting right here, so I don't want to, like, tell her loudly. One night I said that, and she, like, literally went in my room, like, in her bed, so I thought it was just a fluke thing. And then the next night I did that, I said, once it was time for bed, I said, "Chloe, time for bed," and she went in my room again, in her bed. So she knows what time for bed is, she knows what to bring the newspaper, like, she does so many amazing things, like, that the trainers didn't even train her to do that, which is, like, crazy to me, crazy. Does she have to eat a specific food? Yes, she does. She eats Natural Balance, and she, like I said, is allergic to wheat. So all her treats and food and everything are wheat-free and gluten-free and grain-free, Natural Balance, and she gets really itchy skin in general. She just has dry skin in general. That helps with that, and she's also on fish oil and missing link. So, yes, she does have special food. Does she respond more to one specific family member, or is she always does I don't know what to say. Does she respond more to one specific family member, or she always does as asked, no matter which family member asks? I am her master, I guess you could say. We have completely bonded, and she's not allowed to do any tasks with any of my other family members. I do allow them to play with her a little bit once in a while, and pet her and stuff like that. Not like all day, snuggle, play all day, but once in a while they do get to play with her. They'll call her and say, like, "Hey, Chloe," and, like, pet her and stuff, but she does not do any tests with them and definitely does not respond to them when she has her vest on. Does she sleep a lot? She's a dog, so I don't know how to answer that. Is she allowed to go in all the places you take her, or are there moments and places where she's not allowed in and has to stay outside? We never leave Chloe outside unattended in any public place. That would just be awful. No, I know that there's some, like, sterile hospitals and things like that you can't take a service dog in, but the hospital that I go to for my care, they actually have therapy dogs and stuff there all the time, so they're totally cool with Chloe being there. We have gotten denied from a store one time, which I could do a mini story time on if you would like, but we have gotten denied him, but we didn't leave. Yeah, little hint to a maybe upcoming story time. How has your life improved since you got her? My life has improved immensely. Just the independence and being able to do so much more on my own is an incredible blessing to me. And again, just the companionship is totally awesome. Is there something she doesn't do or respond to that you wish she did? Honestly, no, not really. She does everything that I could imagine I would want a service dog to do, so no. She does pretty much everything and anything I could want in a service dog. For how long was she trained before you got her? Or how much time does it usually take to train a service dog? Between her foster mom and Paradise, she was about a year and a half, 2 years to full training. How does she act, and how is she supposed to act when a stranger tries to pet her? It depends how much affection they give her. When they pet her, if they do a little pat on the head, she'll just walk by, but if they do like, oh, she obviously like will pay attention. It's natural. A dog is a dog is a dog. And then I have to tell the adult, please do not pet. She is working. And then she gets right back in task. But honestly, the adults are way worse about it than the kids. Kids are like never a problem out in public. They know not to pet the dog. The adults, on the other hand, are the worst at it. Is she just your service dog, or is she the whole family's? That is another amazing question. Get that asked a lot, actually. She's just my service dog. The problem with having a family service dog is, I don't know if that's even a thing, but someone that shares a service dog, is you don't get the bond that you get when you all share a dog. You don't get that bond, and then the dog naturally doesn't want to listen to just one of you, or I don't even know if I'm making sense, but it's just not good. I often have the opportunity to get a service dog. Like, my parents were totally fine with us having like 2 dogs in the house if he wanted a service dog, but he just didn't want the responsibility of having a service dog. No, she's not. My family knows that, and so she's just my service dog, and my family knows that, and is totally respectful of that. Both of my parents have disabilities. They know about service dogs, and it's nothing new to them, so yeah, she's just my service dog. So those were all the questions that were submitted for the Q&A. I hope you guys enjoy. You guys asked some amazing questions, and I hope you learned a little bit from it. So I feel like there was something important I left out, but I don't know what it was. So if you guys enjoyed, let me know of other videos you would like me to do, like service dog related. I want to do like a what not to do around service dog video. I think that would be a really funny scenario. Let me know if that's something you would like to see. But I would like to do more service dog videos, but I don't know like what else I could do. And I'm going to be doing a day in life of a service dog out and about video, but that'll be coming soon as well. So yeah, thank you so much for submitting all of the amazing questions. That is it for today's video, and I'll see you next time. Bye guys!